You heard my story earlier about the tragedy we had in Upper Arlington and the governor coming to the funeral and how much that meant to me personally. I've known the governor for more years than either of us want to acknowledge. I took my board of directors to Washington, D.C. when he was a senator, and we walked into his office. Everybody, you got to be quiet now. I walked into the Senator Mike DeWine's office, and on the board was lifetime member NAMI Ohio. As governor, he has been so kind to me personally, but also invited my family, our families, the NAMI families, and our executive committee of the NAMI board of directors to his home to ask for our advice, what he wanted to hear from us, what we think needs to be done in the mental health system, and I'll never forget that, and I thank you so much. As I leave NAMI, one of my fondest memories will be that I had a friend that happened to be the governor of the state of Ohio, Governor Mike DeWine.
Afternoon, everybody. There is nothing more powerful than a man or a woman who has a great passion for a cause and who has personal experiences related to that cause and who has a lifetime of knowledge in that area. That's Terry Russell. That's Terry Russell. Nothing more powerful. I've known Terry, I won't say how many decades. I noticed that he didn't either, and we count our friendship in decades. But the thing about Terry is that I met him when he was a lot younger, and I was a lot younger. But his passion is just as strong today as it was the first day I met him. And that's not true with many people, many things in life. But he goes out and leaves this legacy that he's leaving with that same passion as he started. And I think that is just speaks volumes about Terry Russell. You know, young people, and we have some young people here today, in high school and in college, they study lobbyists, they study how the political system works, how the political system should work. And I would just suggest that for any teacher, when they get to the section on advocate, Terry Russell's picture should be there, and his story should be there. Because when this is done right, and it's not always done right, but when it's done right, the advocate is a teacher. The advocate is an educator. They educate members of the Congress, members of the legislature, governors, and others. And that's what Terry Russell has always done. He's been a teacher. And so I was very fortunate, X number of decades ago, to meet him and to have him start teaching me. So when I became governor, one of the first people I called was Terry Russell and said to him, Terry, now's our opportunity. Now's our chance. Let's go do things. And that education has continued. That help has continued. That critique has continued up until today. And I know that it will not end today because I'll still be calling him. And we still will be talking. And he'll still have his passion and he'll still have his expertise. But the good news, Terry, I think, for the community is that young legislator that you introduced yourself to a few decades ago now happens to be governor of the state. And so that expertise that you have given me, that I don't pretend I'm not an expert, but your expertise, as you have taught me, has prepared us for this opportunity. And our goal is when people talk about behavioral health, they talk about mental health, when they talk about the challenges, when they talk about opportunities, no matter where they are in this country, they'll say, look to Ohio. Look to Ohio. That's who knows how to do it. That's the state. That's the state that is committed to make sure that every Ohioan has the opportunity to live up to their God-given potential. And as part of that, we have to recognize that those with substance abuse problems, those with mental health challenges, they need to be part of that. They need to be part of that. They need to be able to live up to their God-given potential. And so that is the mission that Terry leaves us with. It's a mission we will not forget. These are the folks that you have helped teach. These are the people who you have worked with, Terry. And I'm just personally very, very grateful for our friendship, grateful for the opportunity to work with you, and looking forward to doing more things in the future. Let's give a hand for Terry Russell.
Oh, boy, thank you, Governor. You don't know what that means. My family's here, by the way. Did you hear that? We're going to give one award up, and then we're going to let you eat a little bit, and then we'll start the program this afternoon. But Luke, the future director of NAMI Ohio, is coming up now to give our Legislator of the Year award.
I normally don't like to go off script, but Governor, you said it. And Bob Spada, former Senator Bob Spada, friends help friends. And mental illness doesn't affect Republicans or Democrats, it affects everybody. Rick Keller, you and I had that discussion this morning. We cross-cut all politics, social, and economic stratus. Everyone is impacted by mental illness. 1 out of 5 people have mental illness. Everybody in this room knows somebody with mental illness. My name is Luke Russell. I'm currently the Deputy Director here at NAMI Ohio, and I work on our public policy issues. And I am beyond thrilled to announce that State Representative Dontavius Geralds as our 2022 Ohio Legislator of the Year. Representative Geralds represents the 25th District here in Columbus, and he also has Clinton and Mifflin Township, and he's in his first term. From personal experience, I can say without a doubt, Representative Geralds is a fierce advocate for those with mental illness. On more than one occasion, Representative Geralds has called me unsolicited to share how he would like to help individuals and families in Ohio with mental illness. And he has done so in a way that ensures success. Representative Geralds is willing to work across the aisle, and he doesn't care who gets credit, and he's willing to work with a broad range of stakeholders, both families, consumers, public policy leaders, and others. Representative Geralds is the lead on sponsor of House Bill 281, the Mental Health Disability Terminology Act. This bill modifies terminology in Ohio Revised Code regarding people with mental illness and people with disabilities. To move the legislation, Representative Geralds reached out to Representative Tom Young, and I couldn't think of 2 more different political people, but they have one thing in common. They know and love people with mental illness. And so they got together, and early on in the process, it was Representative Geralds who brought everybody together to make sure this bill would pass the House. 90-1. It's in the Senate. We're going to get it done, aren't we, Senator Hackett? Who's a champion. Matter of fact, one of our former legislators of the year, Senator Bob Hackett's in the room. Thanks for coming. And I think you're going to hear from him a little bit later. Also, Representative Gerald's introduced House Bill 453 to create the Recovery is Beautiful license plate. This type of public acknowledgement to reduce the stigma related to mental illness and increase awareness about mental illness does more to reduce the stigma for mental health than a lot of things we do, because people are going to ask, what's that mean? In that bill, unbeknownst to us, Representative Gerald's said that proceeds from that license plate, part of the proceeds, not all, but part, will come to NAMI, Ohio to be used to reduce stigma. And again, we did not ask Representative Gerald to do that. I actually found out by reading the bill itself. Didn't even know he did it. And without further ado, and give him a few minutes to talk here, I want to present the 2022 NAMI Ohio Legislative of the Year Award to Representative Dontavius Geralds.
So I promise I am not crying. It's my allergies. It's my allergies, y'all. So first and foremost, to Terry, as someone, I feel like I'm coming home, y'all. I started my journey in 2012 over at the Ohio Association of County Behavioral Health Authorities, one of the lead sponsors for the conference. And I remember I was just a coordinator at the time, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, first job in Columbus, outside working in the State House. And the passion that I had in 2012 is the same passion that I have today, working with each and every one of you. And so when I think about Terry and my first interactions with Terry, he was the loudest voice in the room. The loudest voice in the room. And I remember Sherry Walter telling me, watch out, when Terry speaks, people listen. And the truth of the matter is, when Terry speaks, people listen. And I stand on your shoulders because the boisterous compassion for change is what 10 years, I look back, we've seen so much because of leaders like you in the room. And so let's give it up for Terry one more time, y'all. I am so thrilled and honored to be here with you. And again, I said it before, it feels like a reunion coming here and being with you. Seeing all the youth move, young folk, right, the change makers in their communities, it inspires me because I still feel young in the State House, even though I'm 34. I think about that, though. I was a kid from Cleveland, from the Huff neighborhood. And when you think about the statistics that are laid out for me early in my youth, you would not have thought that I would be one of the youngest elected leaders in the state legislature. But yet, I persisted. But I'm not alone. There are so many young people in this room who stand on the shoulders of so many in this room to reach a little higher, to go a little farther, and to change our communities for the better. I always say that a better Ohio starts with all of us. And it's not a slogan by any means, even though it could be. But it is intentional effort to make sure that every person is in a room, making sure that their voice is at the pulse of the direction that we want to take Ohio. And that is the mission of that's what we should be doing every day in the State House, bringing your voices in to people's house to make sure that we're building policies that meet you where you are. In my world, and I'll leave you with this, I envision a world where there's no wrong door. It doesn't matter what a person comes in at, doesn't matter what zip code they're born in, doesn't matter what township they live in. If they need help, regardless of what door they walk into, if they need mental health services, they should receive it. Promptly, culturally competent services, yes. And so I stand with you. I'm with you every single day in the fight to make sure that we're building that no wrong door, that we're creating the type of Ohio where our young people thrive, where individuals can truly recover, and that we eradicate stigma for mental health and behavioral health once and for all in this state. Thank you so much for allowing me to be here, and I'm looking forward to working for you and working with you for years to come. Thank y'all.
Representative, whose phone? I don't have a gavel. Hey. Don't make me get out my gavel. So we are running a bit behind. We have many illustrious guests here with us, so we'd like to continue while you continue to enjoy your lunch quietly. We're going to continue with the awards so we can get back on schedule. So let's start with all of the work we do at NAMI would not happen if it wasn't for our many, many partners. It would be easy for NAMI Ohio to give out 100 awards. But today, we'd like to present the 4 additional awards we have. We'll give out the rest of those now, and then there'll be another one at the later presentation. So I want you to notice on your tables, irises have been the symbol of mental health and the NAMI movement since its inception. And I want to thank Mary and Bob Spada for those beautiful centerpieces that they worked so hard on and what they represent. NAMI Ohio believes in our grassroots foundation. The heart and soul of NAMI's work is done at the local affiliate level. Therefore, we have asked NAMI Franklin County Executive Director Rochelle Martin to present this year's Alcohol, Drug Addiction, and Mental Health Services Board of the Year Award. And I'm going to interrupt her lunch, clearly. Come on.
Good afternoon. She did interrupt my lunch. Salad is my favorite meal, if anyone knows me, but it is still an honor and a pleasure to be up here. Once again, my name is Rochelle Martin. I am the Executive Director of NAMI Franklin County, and I am honored to be presenting this award. Allow me to read a little bit about it and then introduce the person who is going to receive it. This year, the Alcohol, Drug Addiction, and Mental Health Board of the Year is the Adam Board of Franklin County. NAMI Ohio has been impressed with the consistent professionalism and responsiveness over the last year to many individual requests for assistance coming through our NAMI Ohio helpline. Likewise, the Adam Board of Franklin County has partnered with NAMI Ohio and NAMI Franklin County to address trauma care and housing in Central Ohio. The leadership at the Adam Board of Franklin County has made themselves routinely available as partners to advocate for the needs of individuals with mental illness and their families, particularly Erica Clark Jones, has made it known through her words and actions that advocates are welcome to the table. The board acted swiftly when NAMI Ohio and the Columbus Police Department presented a real dilemma as it is related to the increased homicide rate and the corresponding trauma being experienced by family and friends. The Columbus Police Department acknowledged their limited expertise in the area and called NAMI Ohio. The Franklin County Board, along with NAMI Franklin County and the Columbus Care Coalition, had a trauma support group up and running within a couple of months. The board addressed the need swiftly. As the Adam Board continues to advocate for housing, the Adam Board of Franklin County has agreed to help us look for long-term housing solutions to better serve those most in need. Their leadership is serious about developing and maintaining quality group homes in the county and is supporting NAMI Ohio's effort to bring the Mental Health Rehabilitation Center to the region. Their leadership has met with NAMI Franklin County's Housing Committee to explore more housing options and has had an open door to NAMI Ohio's ongoing advocacy to expanding housing. This partnership will help change the lives of individuals with serious mental illness find a place called home. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is now my pleasure to present the 2000 award to the Adam Board of Franklin County. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and give a warm welcome to Erica Clark Jones. I thought she got lost.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. My name's Erica Clark Jones, and it is my honor to receive this award on behalf of the staff and the Board of Trustees of the Franklin County Alcohol, Drug, and Mental Health Board. I am joined today by my board chair, Mr. Nathan Weimer, and I just have a few remarks before I hand him the microphone. So it's with extreme gratitude, quite frankly, for all of our partnerships, especially NAMI Ohio and the leadership that Terry Russell provides, NAMI Franklin County and the continuous leadership that Rochelle Martin provides, our courageous Board of Trustees that never fails to deliver a commitment to those living with mental illness and those supporting individuals living with mental illness, and our incredible staff and our volunteers that, quite frankly, getting this award this year reflects us going through some really challenging times across our state and across our community, and they never relented. Via work from home or, not being sure about the pandemic, our staff was always available. But most importantly as well, it's all equal footing, is our network of 33 community-based agencies that make up the Adam H. Franklin County Network. They never stopped, not one day during the pandemic, and they have been responsive to us when we call. Quite frankly, we think with this award, it's our chance to raise awareness about mental illness and those living with mental illness. Not only that, when we raise awareness, we raise compassion. And when we raise compassion, it increases our collective understanding. And with that collective understanding, we can make policy changes. And that is what leads to better lives in our community. So it is, again, I'm humbled and honored to accept this award. And now I'd like to have a moment to have our board chair, Mr. Nathan Weimer, reflect our thoughts from our trustees.
Thank you, Erica. On behalf of the 53-plus employees at MH, we humbly accept this award to have a third-party validation from a group like NAMI who, like the employees and the good people every day trying to make a difference for those who need services, we say thank you. So be remiss if we didn't do a special call out to the governor for his continued leadership in this space. He's been a great partner, continues to be a great partner, and we couldn't do it without the support of him as well. So thank you all. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
And Terry Russell is going to be accepting a resolution from Franklin County yet this month for his tenure of service. So Terry, you're coming back to our board for an award yet this month, so thank you.
Congratulations. Our next award is the Mental Health Champion Award. Dr. Doug Smith from Akron has been on the NAMI Ohio Board of Directors for a number of years. Since our recipient of this award is from the Akron area, we've asked Dr. Smith to present this award.
All right, good afternoon again. What a great conference. Thank you again for being here. My name is Dr. Doug Smith. I'm the Chief Clinical Officer following the Franklin Adams Board of the Summit County Alcohol, Drug Addiction, and Mental Health Services Board. I also do some work on the faculty at NeoMed, the Northeast Ohio Medical University, and of course, as you heard, a member of the NAMI Board of Directors, which has been amazing here for, I think, 6 years now. So I'm very honored to be presenting this Mental Health Champion Award today. This year's Mental Health Champion Award goes to Ruth Samara. NAMI Ohio has been in awe of the devotion and effort Ruth has exhibited over the years, leading the Criminal Justice Coordinating Center of Excellence at NeoMed, and with that, the Ohio Crisis Intervention teams, the training that goes on around the state, and then the team, because it's way more than training. The teams are community-based programs that bring together law enforcement, mental health professionals, advocates, like people from NAMI, people living with mental illness and their families, and many other partners to improve community responses for people experiencing mental health and substance use crises. Recently, Ruth was actually promoted to the role of executive director for all of the coordinating centers of excellence at NeoMed. That includes the Criminal Justice Coordinating Center of Excellence, as well as the BEST Center, Best Practices in Schizophrenia Treatment Center, and the Ohio Program for Campus Safety and Mental Health. That affects, each of those affects things statewide here in a very positive way. Having served briefly as the interim chair of the Department of Psychiatry at NeoMed in 2020, and having worked with NAMI Ohio and CIT for many years, CIT since 2001 in Lucas County, I can truly attest to Ruth's excellent work and accomplishments. Her leadership at the Coordinating Centers of Excellence with CIT has resulted in over half of all Ohio police officers being trained to improve safety during law enforcement encounters and to increase access to effective and timely treatment services, what we're all here advocating for. To quote Terry Russell, Ruth's commitment to individuals with serious mental illness and their families is unmatched. She truly believes partnering with NAMI Ohio and our affiliates adds value to programs that promote jail diversion alternatives for people with mental health disorders. When NAMI Ohio and local communities are searching for better ways to treat those needing services, Ruth has been very proactive with initiating CIT programs, offering research around jail diversion, and implementing the sequential intercept mapping model that helps local communities identify pathways to treatment. As NAMI Ohio continues our work to divert individuals with mental illness away from incarceration and into treatment, Ruth will not only be one of our key partners, but also a champion of the people NAMI Ohio represents. Her 20-plus years of dedication to the CIT program has resulted in thousands of officers trained, which in all likelihood has resulted in many lives saved. At NAMI Ohio, when we ask ourselves whether the work we do on a daily basis helps or changes lives, the answer is a resounding yes as it relates to CIT and Ruth Samara. So now it is truly my pleasure, my honor, to present the 2022 Mental Health Champion Award to Ruth Samara.
Well, I just said to Doug, no one said I had to say anything. Hi, Amy. So I know people from all over the country. So you'll be glad that I'm not going to say much since we're behind schedule. Hello. But I am glad that he mentioned the other coordinating centers of excellence that we have at Neomed, because I'm so excited to see Central State and their bright yellow T-shirts over there with the Ohio Program for Campus Safety Mental Health blazoned on the back. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to your talk. But to the partnership with NAMI, I do need to really reflect on that for a moment. And first of all, make mention and thank Dr. Mark Munitz, who instituted the Criminal Justice Coordinating Center of Excellence. I learned a lot from him, and I'm appreciative of him for everything that he's done. But our partnership with NAMI is really what makes CIT in Ohio. And we have literally the strongest, most well-developed, most well-spread CIT program in the country, in the world, because of that partnership with NAMI and law enforcement and mental health. That's where it's at. We have to be together on all of this, right? So thank you very much. I really appreciate this.
Got to do a little housekeeping here. Good afternoon, NAMI friends. It's really great that you're here, and we appreciate you being here. My name is Bob Spada. I've been on the NAMI Ohio board for a couple decades plus. And I've also served on the National NAMI board with my good friend, Gloria Walker. Over here. Thank you. I've been very pleased to work with this group. And before I introduce the board and some staff as a group, I want to tell you about two of my favorite phrases. The first one, you're going to get it wrong, Terry. The first one is man's sole purpose is to be of service to others. Man's sole purpose is to be of service to others. After high school, I thought I should be a Catholic priest because I could serve other people. That lasted about one semester because I was taking 30 college credits of Latin plus a few other things every week. I thought, I don't look good in black. I got to figure out what else I can do in life. My second favorite phrase is Friends Help Friends. The governor was here, Bobby Hackett's here. There's a lot of people here who are our friends, and we're helping other friends, and we're making new friends every day. I'm going to ask all of those on the NAMI Ohio board to please rise. I'd ask you to stay standing for a few moments. We have some spouses here of NAMI board members. You can't sit down. Spouses of NAMI members, board members, please stand up. My wife Mary, Greg, there's a lot of other ones. The staff in this room, the staff of NAMI Ohio who are here, I know a lot of them are outside doing other important things, we want you to also please stand up. There's a bunch in the back, on the sides. These people standing are your friends. They will help you do whatever you need to do. They have made mental health in Ohio the word of the day. Collectively, these people standing have made NAMI Ohio the best NAMI in the United States of America. NAMI is a great organization. I know you want to sit down, so please do. We are very pleased that all of you are here today helping celebrate the send-off for Terry Russell. He didn't want any notoriety. As a matter of fact, he said, I don't want this to be my obituary. Not a bad comment. So, Terry, okay, it's not your obituary. I want to point out that there's centerpieces on tables. On some tables, we have the NAMI flower, the iris, and a little life ring. You know the little life rings you see on a boat? If you're a boater, you know about life rings, life preserver rings. On other tables, we have houses. And those houses are what we're here about today as well. NAMI Ohio's new housing initiative. You may have noticed, now there's a lot of other stuff on the table, but you may have noticed there were some candy lifesavers on the tables. The candy lifesavers represent Terry Russell. The housing is going to represent the people we're helping in the future. The flower and the life rings are our NAMI members who we're throwing that life ring to. Let me talk about those lifesaver candies. Well, those are Terry Russell. And it's not because he's sweet, but because he has saved many lives. And because of that, we thought it was appropriate to present Terry with this life ring for all of the people he saved while he was executive director at NAMI Ohio. I'll cry a little bit too, Terry. I didn't know when I was going to work that in. That's supposed to be signed by all the board members, their spouses, and the staff, the people that were standing. Some of you got here a little late. We didn't get your signature, but we'll do that later today or tomorrow. Although Terry will be retiring, thank God, we are asking him to spearhead this project for housing. Obviously, I don't need to talk about his commitment, his passion, his dedication. You all know that. But we feel that passion and commitment will form this new housing initiative which we're calling, as you see on those table placards, those little houses, Terry Russell Housing Initiative. One of the things that we also hear at NAMI meetings is people need a roof over their head, food in their belly as you eat, and someone who knows your name. We feel very strongly that this housing initiative will accomplish those three things. And we hope that we will continue to do that for years to come. The best example of this is when a few of our board members, Walkers and Spadas and Custard and Lavelle Custard and Terry we all went down to San Antonio, Texas to visit a restoration center they had down there. And that gave us the idea that we needed to do more for housing and more for care for individuals and step up what the state has not been able to do. You know, the broken promise that Terry always talks about, we needed to fulfill that promise and do things that NAMI could spearhead and do, and we're continuing to do that. Like many illnesses, when you leave the hospital, you've got to recuperate, you've got to recover. And you know that's why we're looking at these houses. Just like the Adam and Amanda facility down in Athens. And you know, maybe if we've had more of these houses, we wouldn't have to name one Adam and Amanda. Let's hope we don't have to name them after too many more people. It is a reminder how much is needed in care and support after individuals leave the hospital. Very, very important. If you go in for a heart valve replacement, if you go in for a broken femur, if you go in for some other kind of medical procedure, you need some rehabilitation and some time to heal. Obviously, that's what we're talking about here. In Athens, where the Adam and Amanda House is, that board also, I'm told, has two 16-bed facilities in Appalachia to try and help the population recover from their illnesses. One of the things that Terry first did, I'm cutting my remarks short because Terry thinks we're taking too long to honor him. One of the first things that Terry did as an advocate while at NAMI, Ohio, is take a phone call. He took a phone call from a lady in the Akron area. And she said, "Are you in your office? I'll be down to see you in 2.5 hours. She came. Terry talked to her. She was referred to Terry by Fred Fries, another fabulous person who has served on the NAMI Ohio and NAMI National Board. One of our friends we love very much. So Terry couldn't say no when this lady said, "I'm coming to see you." Fred said, "Do it." At this time, we're going to ask Rick Keller, the executive director of what used to be the Margaret Clark Morgan Foundation, now called the Pig Foundation, to say a few words about this young lady that came to see him.
All right, I want to lighten up the mood in here. I was just classic Terry Russell. Short. It's not a bad impression. So about a month ago, I get a call. "Rick, I want you to do something for me." "Well, I'm going to ask you to do something for me." I was like, "All right, Terry." And it's funny as we hear the various remarks of folks. Come on, everyone that knows Terry, that's funny. Staff at NAMI, Ohio, right? So NAMI has a very special place in the heart of Peg's Foundation and the family, all right? And so I'm going to share that story And, but so our founder was the nice lady that Fred and Penny Fries. Penny's not here today, though. She's still on our board. That got a hold of Terry and quickly drove. It takes about, well, I don't know, Tom, you and I, when we come down here, we get down here about an hour and a half. Mrs. Morgan's a little bit older. So 2.5 hours, her and one of my other board members, Bill McGraw, showed up. And, you know, it's providence and faith and fate, right, that their son, Peg's son, Dave Morgan, was holed up in an apartment with bales of hay to the ceiling on all the walls, wild birds flying around the apartment. For all of the NAMI parents and brothers and sisters that are in the room, you all have experienced that moment where, in fact, I think the Geauga County NAMI Executive Director shared a picture of her son, who's currently incarcerated in Arlington County, where where the illness causes us to be at our lowest, and that's where Dave was. And there was going to be a law enforcement interaction to evict him from this apartment. And Terry had just come to the job at NAMI Ohio, and in the call, a month ago, this is the first time he had shared this with me, he said, you know, Rick, that was one of my first moments of advocating as NAMI Executive Director of NAMI Ohio. Now, he had done it for family and you know, he's called to serve. But it was the first moment. And I got to tell you, Terry, I think about that moment, because what could have happened differently? So Terry, with police help, and this is pre-CIT, so you have law enforcement that shows up that's like, hey, you know, this guy won't let us in the apartment. And Terry basically coaches them into how you should interact with this individual that doesn't want to come out of that apartment. Get him in hospital. And Dave is on road to recovery, and I don't know if there's an opportunity to share the picture of him and his mom, a couple pictures of him and his mom, but they're the driver of what caused Peg to get us to think bigger and ultimately start this foundation. And I can imagine that ripple, that like little ripple in the water, that if that doesn't happen, if that mom doesn't meet this man who saves that son's life, Peg's Foundation doesn't exist. And it's another story and legacy of brokenness that we just can't have. And for that, I'm grateful. And I love that when you call me, you're gruff and angry all the time. Rick, here's what we got to do. And it's interesting to me to think that, like, the state of the state, and my good friend Dan Gillison, thank you for coming and kicking us off this morning. You know, I brag about Ohio all the time, right? And I know Director Chris, like, I'm like, hey, I'm telling all these folks, we are the exemplar state for getting this right. Now, a lot of brokenness in this room, right? There's a lot of challenges ahead of us. But when our governor in the state of the state prioritized the behavioral health pillar using a lot of language born out of the folks from NAMI to give that speech, you know, my call to Dan was like, I just need 49 more, and then we're set in this country. And leadership matters. And Terry, you're an awesome leader. It's never like one thing we do, it's all the one things that add up. And dude, you got a lot of one things you've done that have added up to great things. You know, Matthew 25, 40 to 45, what you've done for the least of my brothers and sisters, you've done for me. And I tell you, if Peg was alive today, she would be here to hug you and remember and echo what you said earlier today, that love lasts forever. Love lasts forever. Thank you, brother.
I must also mention that the Peg Foundation has been very supportive of local NAMI, Ohio NAMI, and the national NAMI, and they're great people, and we appreciate them being here with us today. To honor Terry, we have put together a video that you will enjoy. Terry said you will enjoy it. He didn't really say that, but it sounds like something he'd say. And it talks about his 50-year career, and it's just amazing the things he's done. I think Terry adopted one of my favorite sayings, and that is, man's sole purpose is to be of service to others. There's no doubt in my mind. And I think he twisted his wife's arm to get her sucked into the program as well. And now we got Luke sucked in. So this is good, very good. Terry has worked with a number of governors, a number of directors of mental health, so on and so forth. So are we going to play that video right now? Okay, roll it.
A retired Terry Russell. That's an oxymoron.
Terry, of course, had a great career as head of the Adam Board in Springfield, but it was really his time at NAMI, Ohio that was special.
For more than 50 years, he has worked his heart out for people who are in desperate need of help. And I'm talking about those who suffer from serious mental illnesses.
Terry was a great advocate for people and for peer services. He was a real, it was before his time, really, in knowing how important peer-operated services were going to become.
Known Terry Russell for quite a few years now, and I think about his enjoyment of the bully pulpit and how he just loves to advocate and almost strong-arm folks at times to see his point of view and help people receive access to the services to which they're entitled and services that they really need.
Retired is not an adjective that fits Terry Russell, but I'm going to tell you adjectives that are yours that you've owned through the years. They include tenacious, assertive with a tad of aggression. You are persistent. You can be defiant in an oppositional way, as needed, as indicated, as often necessary.
Just want to take a second to congratulate my friend Terry Russell on his retirement. Terry, you probably think you're retiring, but you're going to always be engaged because the work you did changed the lives of many people in Ohio.
You know, I've known Terry a long time. I've worked with Terry in various ways. Terry's always been a challenge for me. Because he's always pushing, he's always wanting. He's wanting things for the people that he desperately cares about and serves.
I remember Terry as a great advocate. He was the president of the Ohio Board Association when we were trying to get some major mental health legislation through the legislature, and he was appointed then to something called the Common Concerns Committee, which led to the development of the Mental Health Act of 1988. And those were tough negotiations, and we weren't sure we were going to get there, but we did. And at the end, we all walked away being friends and knowing that we were going to be able to help thousands of Ohio citizens who had been languishing in state hospitals.
I was privileged enough to be in Ohio at the time and encouraged him to take the NAMI role because strong advocacy on behalf of people with mental illness is really essential. Government leaders, as committed as they are, can't do it by themselves. And I knew that Terry had and still has the passion, the energy, and the willingness to knock on any door, or maybe even to knock that door down if that's what it takes.
Just the visits that I had with him over the years to adult care facilities across Ohio where people who were living with serious mental illness lived. And his ability to interact with folks on just such a tender and caring level, it really speaks volumes, especially when I also know the very public Terry who's out there, you know, banging his fist on the table saying, when are we going to see some change? And so I think he's really got a diversity of gifts that he has brought to NAMI over time.
Because you believed in the dream of making mental health in Ohio state of the art, to just say thank you seems hardly enough, except when it's said from the heart. For many will benefit by the efforts of concerned people like you and me, who are helping to make the mental health system a less frightening place to be. So when I thought about what to say today, Terry, I just thought I needed to read that poem to you because it's really right there for you.
Terry, you never hesitated to call me whenever there was a need. And you did that when I was the director of Southeast. And I worked to meet that need because I knew how sincere your effort was to represent families and how great that need is. With you, it wasn't just a simple request, it was always a story. When you asked for something on behalf of a family, it wasn't just, hey, Sandy, could you try to look into this? It was, Sandy, let me tell you the story of the family and what they're living with, what their lives are like, what the need of their loved one is, what's going on. And sometimes an hour wasn't even enough, or you were calling about a policy. You were calling about something that you viewed as wrong with the behavioral health system in Ohio. You always did your homework, but you spoke with passion. And I had a great connection with you because of that.
I just want to really convey my congratulations to Terry on such a strong and impactful career. And, everything that he's done in this phase 2 of NAMI since the early 2000s, I think has been just so important in terms of his advocacy and his ability to overcome virtually any obstacle to connect people with services. So thank you, Terry, for everything that you have done. And the NAMI bus will also live in my memory forever. So appreciate everything that you've done, and even advocating for me informally as I was running for the NAMI board at the national level and serving in that regard in the last few years. So take good care, my friend. Love you.
The people of Ohio, especially the families and those who suffer from mental illnesses, owe Terry a huge debt of gratitude, because he's always been there for them. And even people who may not understand all the intricacies of how government works and federal and state programs work, Terry was always there asking for more, because more was needed.
You are not retiring. You are not a retired type of person. And as you built that cabin in the hills of Southern Ohio, the last time you pretended you were retired, this time I hope you go forth and work on tiny houses for people who are homeless, who are living with severe and persistent mental illness. And if you do that, I and others will be with you every step of the way. So go forth, do good. You've always done good. You will continue to do good, and continue to call, because I need to set aside that hour. Take care, and I wish you the best.
Terry's passion for housing, or more especially his rage about the cruddy housing that people with serious mental illness often end up in, will really mark his legacy now and going forward. Having pulled my sister back in the day before she got on a path of recovery out of bed bug infested dumps where she had ended up, I truly appreciate Terry's passion for housing. And so I want to say that I'm going to make a donation to the Terry Russell Housing Fund at NAMI, Ohio. And that's a fund that is going to do great good and help many people over time. So I'll conclude just by saying, Terry, congratulations on a job well done, several jobs, but especially the job as Executive Director of NAMI, Ohio.
And as we all know, the issue of mental health is coming at us like a freight train. Yes, we have to take care of the adults without any question, but we also have to keep in mind as the highest priority our children. We're going to continue to work together on this. And Terry, thank you for everything you've done, and God bless you and your family.
Thank you, Terry, for being the voice of an advocate, for being the voice of an advocate for peers, for the system, for family members. And I want to thank you for now 50 years of service. Congratulations, Terry. Have a great retirement.
Terry Russell, congratulations on your retirement. You fought the fight. You deserve a break. And I know all of those who have worked with you in the past wish you the very best in the years to come. You should take great comfort and satisfaction in knowing that you have left a legacy that will live well beyond my life and yours, because you have done so much to bring attention to the need for those who suffer from these mental illnesses. And that is a history, that's a record, that's a legacy that you can forever be proud of.
That was really a great video. We had some very significant people in Ohio speak to us about what they thought of Terry, and it was all positive. It was all positive. Terry's been pushing me to speed this thing up. I skipped a couple things I was supposed to say. Very important. Your lunch today was a free lunch, but you're old enough and wise enough to know there is no free lunch. There's envelopes on your table. If you would like to make any kind of donation, small, large, gigantic, whatever you feel you can do, NAMI Ohio would appreciate it. And if you want to use your phone to do it, we have some people here that will help you do that. Please take good care of this envelope. Treat it with care and love, and that love will go far to help individuals live in a safe and loving community. At this time, I'm going to introduce three individuals who in person are going to say some things about Terry. Sorry, but we have to do this to humor him. We have one lady who I just think the world of, and I asked her earlier when we were out in the hall, what are you doing now? And she named 20 things. Justice Evelyn Stratton is so darn busy, it makes my head spin. She said, what are you doing? And I said, not much. Not much compared to you. So at this time, I would ask Justice Stratton to share with us her work in Ohio. Thank you.
About 25 years ago, when I first decided to work on this issue, I didn't know anything. And my first meeting, I had 10 people, and I said, I don't have any money, staff, budget, background. The only thing I have is a big title, and people come to my meetings. And Terry came to my first meeting. And from him, I learned a whole lot about advocacy. And I have had so many meetings since then on all sorts of different organizations, and he's been at almost all of them. It is amazing, the tirelessness of this man. But he has really taught me how to change systems and how to make connections and how to get people together. And I work a lot on systems, and I work a lot on connections. And Terry works a lot on systems, and Terry works a lot on connections. But what I always really cherish about Terry is the connection with the individual person. There is family after family, person after person in this room whose Terry has answered their call, helped them get a house, helped them get treatment, helped them find food. For Pete's sake, during the pandemic, when you couldn't find toilet paper, he helped the group homes find toilet paper. That's the level he will go to help. And I even took advantage of Terry because I had a family member that I didn't realize had bipolar. And when it was revealed to us that for years he had had bipolar, I called Terry in a panic. I said, I do system stuff, but I don't know what the disease is. Explain this to me. And when he explained all these things, everything fell into place with this behavior and how to help. And we had family members go to families to learn how to deal with it. So even I was someone he called and returned my call and helped me out. So Terry, for the systems you've left changed, thank you. For the individual families you've left changed, thank you.
Justice Stratton has been one of the people I admired most in state government. The next person I would like to ask to come up here is one that's been a friend of Terry's for 45 years. Well, that's pretty impressive that you could keep a friend that long. Terry would talk about how nothing happens in state government if it doesn't start in the legislature. And you probably know that you either start a bill in the House or you start it in the Senate, but nothing happens if it doesn't go through those two houses. And then, of course, has to be signed by the governor. Terry talks about days of old when he would meet Speaker then, Vern Rife, and he'd meet him at the old Neal House. Well, the Neal House has been torn down decades ago, and things just change. But some things keep the same. Some things stays the same. And another Vern Rife was a champion for mental illness, and he did what he could during his time period, and obviously there's still more to be done. But another champion that we're very proud of is Senator Bobby Hackett. And as I said, he and Terry had been friends for, and that's just amazing, 45 years. Terry kept a friend. And Terry always repeats one of my sayings, one of my favorite sayings, that friends help friends. And Terry and Senator Hackett, they would go on golf outings together. They would do things with their best friend, Charlie Adler. Charlie Adler was such a strong advocate back 20, I forget when he died, but 20-some years ago. I had met him way back when, and I was impressed with his dedication and vigor. And at this time, I'm going to ask Senator Hackett to come up and talk about he and Terry eulogized Charlie at his wake, and so on and so forth.
Actually, when you look at all the speakers and everything, there's one speaker that Terry's worried about, and that's me. Think about that, you know. And I when I talk to people, and I know, and I love his wife, and she's a sweetheart, but. You know, Terry's worried about it because I know all the stories, man. I know where all the bodies are buried. But Terry, don't worry. You know, I did think this was going to be a roast, damn it. So we'll get rid of this. Boy, I had some good stories, but no. Now, it's great to be here to talk about my good friend, Terry Russell. You know, I'm here from the highest Senate. I have a proclamation from the highest Senate signed by myself and the President of the Senate for all the great work that Terry's done. And if you see the thing and you see, you know, the words of Mike DeWine and the state of the state, you know, the last three governors have raved about Terry. Think about that. I mean, he really was so respected. I mean, we'd always go around and we'd say, Mr. Mental Health in Ohio is Terry Russell. And so we think the Terry, you know, we just love Terry, and damn, I'd love to tell some stories. You know, way back in the 90s, Terry was actually the Adams director in Clark and Green, and he was able to get Madison to move in. It's a 3-county Adams board now, and it was the best thing in the world that ever happened to Madison County. He did so much great work, and of course, he continued to do phenomenal work. Bob Spada talks about Terry and I had a great friend, Charlie Alder, and Charlie's wife is my treasurer. And we love Charlie. And if you look at Charlie, Charlie wasn't, I would say, a polished executive. Charlie was an IT rep. I mean, Charlie was a good old boy. He used to be a car salesman. But boy, he was an advocate for mental health. He dealt with problems with his mother. And he saw that up till a certain time in Madison County, if you wanted treatment, you went to the emergency room and waited hours and hours. And people in the room know how bad our system used to be. And so Charlie worked tirelessly of working so hard, et cetera, and different things that. And so, I was thinking today, Charlie's up in heaven. Terry and I know, we spoke at his funeral, but Charlie's up in heaven, he's smiling down at his buddy, and he's basically smiling and saying, hey, Russell, a job well done. We think the world of you. I hear Terry, Retta, and the entire Russell family, the state of Ohio will always be thankful for what you've done for mental health in Ohio. It's an honor and a privilege to call you my friend. We've been buddies for a long, and we're both characters. We are. We are. We're both hyper as hell, and but we don't give up, and we fight for things. So I really appreciate saying a few words today, and Terry, you're the best, man. Thank you. I'll get that to you. Yeah.
Senator Hackett was going to present Terry with that proclamation from the Senate. However, Terry, he tells him, come on, we're in a hurry. We got to get this show on the road. There's another lady in the room who really, really has been a friend of NAMI, and that's Lori Chris. And if you would please come up here and say some words of wisdom for us, we'd appreciate it.
Hello, NAMI, Ohio. And hello, Youth Move. Where are my Youth Move friends? Come on. It's good to see you again. Was it the Resiliency Week? Parent Advocacy, the local NAMI chapters, NAMI on campus, and the NAMI board. I feel cheated, Terry. I've only known you for a little over a decade, so we'll make up for that. But first as an advocate alongside you in the field, and now as my role as the director of the Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services. And I could say a lot about Terry, probably not as much as Senator Hackett can say. But if I had to pick one thing to talk about, it was really how I value his leadership strategy and how it's rooted in your outlook on life. And that is that you invited me in to the NAMI family, whether I was a fellow advocate or in this role. You didn't just come to me with challenges, you came with solutions. You've always come to me and asked for my partnership in this work, and that is one that makes all the difference, and all of you do that. I'm in board meetings with all of you, and I'm invited in to help walk alongside and listen and learn and understand, and that's what NAMI does. The other thing I really value is how much, no matter how much we're alone in a conversation, I know that you are carrying the voice of people with you, whether it's a person with lived experience, a family member, another advocate, a NAMI chapter, youth, whoever it is. I know that you're bringing that with you to that meeting. And so, while Ohio is seeing you retire, we know that what you really were was that outstanding champion advocate for you, for the people of Ohio, and that is something else that I've always really valued. The other thing is that Terry deals in reality, right? He does not shy away from the truth. He doesn't sugarcoat things or disguise those hard truths. He reminds us constantly what a mean illness, mental illness is, and keeps that reality there, holds that tight, but also creates that tension with giving us the vision of what could be if we work together, that people with mental illness have the opportunity to live up to their full potential, but they need that opportunity to be created with and supported by all of us. And that's something that your fervent belief in the ability and the promise of each person is something that I know we share as values, and I truly, truly appreciate that. I also think you are willing to listen, and I know that people might not, that comes to me first in mind, honestly, is the good conversations we have and the exchanges we have, your willingness to listen, willingness to work on our partnership, and the willingness to step forward and find a new path if the original idea that you had or that we were working on together isn't working out, just pivoting, finding that next way forward, but never giving up. Social justice and the value and worth of each human being is something that you and I share as values. And so I think that common ground is a great place that we can all continue to work from. knowing that we work for people, not for systems, and that is going to make all the difference. So I say that, you've carried the voice of people with mental illness and their families valiantly and consistently. And as I look at the work that we're doing in the DeWine administration, not just our Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services, but public safety, the Bureau of Workers' Compensation, health, on and on and on, I can see your ideas coming to life. And I'm so proud of that and so grateful for that. We're standing on the shoulders of a lot of great work that's been done before, but I see us advancing efforts in person-centered care and being dedicated to knowing we need to do more in that space. The multi-system adult work that we're piloting right now is one of those examples. Building out Ohio's crisis services, you and so many others in this room were really the inspiration for that and the spark of that, and we're doing such dedicated work there. Making sure that we are improving not just housing options, but the quality of housing for people with mental illness in Ohio. That is tremendous work that we've started, but we've got a lot more to do, and I'm anxious to get to work on that together. And then the Family Navigator work and the peer support work and the parent advocacy work, those are all things that make a difference each day in the lives of Ohioans, and that is led by NAMI Ohio, and that is championed by you, Terry, and I'm so grateful. So I'm grateful for you. I don't feel like this is goodbye because we've already talked about what's next. And so I'm really looking forward to walking alongside as colleagues and continuing this great work together to help fulfill your vision, to help live Governor DeWine's promise alongside of you and helping Ohioans with mental illness, your family members, live up to your full potential and to serving you in that way. So I wish you the best in your retirement, and I'm sure that we'll remain friends and colleagues for a long time to come. Thank you.
Thank you. I do have to apologize for Director.
Gloria Walker has 1 minute.
Terry, sit down, take a break. We have some important things to discuss. Director Chris wasn't on my script. Terry said, she's here. And I said, well, we've got to get her up here. So I apologize for not a proper introduction to the Director of Mental Health and Addiction Services, but we appreciate you being here. The next young lady has been on NAMI board before Terry was hired. So it's her fault. Gloria, get up here.
Terry Russell. For the hell of it, I'm going to take 2 minutes. Lucky I didn't take 15. But I'm taking 2 minutes. I thought about this. I didn't write anything down because when I thought, I can't believe this is over. It's been a great ride. I hired Terry Russell. Hey. Reverend J. Donald Mosley and I sat on the committee to bring him on board. I think we interviewed maybe 3 other people, and I think he was the last one. And when it was over, I told Reverend Mosley, I said, we got to get him. And he agreed with me. And we got him, and then we got Stacy Smith later. I had to give a shout out to Stacy because she's hung in there with me and him all these years. Terry, I don't know how else to say this, but I'm really going to miss you, and I don't want to start crying. I really am going to miss you. We've come a long way, side by side, Batman and Robin. We've come a long way. We were broke when he came on board. I didn't know what was going on. I just knew that what had been happening wasn't the right thing to do. We had that little place where Terry always talks about, where they put me in a hotel room where people charge for 1 hour. He always brings that up. But since that time, we are the largest and best NAMI state organization around. We have had 2 minutes. We have had such leadership at our NAMI Ohio, in our NAMI Ohio board, that we have always had someone from NAMI, since Terry and I have been there, someone to sit, a board member sitting on our NAMI national board. And we want to continue that. So let's get Bob Stater on there. Just saying. Terry, I can't say much more than that. I miss you. I will miss you. And that I love you. And like you say, love is forever. And like you say, love is forever. And Terry, we're going to love what you do, what you've done, and you forever. And just one more thing. One more thing, Terry. Maybe two. But one more thing. Retta, girl, thank you. Thank you. In all seriousness, Terry Russell, I love you. I really, really do. You have just...
Terry, sit down.
You have...
Sit down.
Bob, you can take it over from Terry.
I am.
Okay. What you gonna do?
Thank you. One of the very important things I didn't mention earlier were these irises and the idea of the lifesavers. Mary came up with these, and we couldn't find enough irises in Cleveland. We brought 20 of these back from Houston last weekend. So I wanted to shout out to Mary what a great wife and partner she is.
Yes, she is.
You're welcome, Steve. Terry, put your paper down. Your replacement gave me more time. You know, some people, they just can't quit. And that's why he's going to be in charge of the Terry Russell Housing Initiative, because we know he can't walk away. We know it. The next part of this program, I hope Terry doesn't know. But knowing Terry, he always finds out what's going on. I am really very, very proud to be up here today for the past half hour, whatever it was, and now for the next few remarks that I have prepared. The reason I am so proud is because today we're going to present NAMI's most prestigious award, the Herb Reisenfeld Award. It is named after the grandfather of NAMI Ohio. My wife and I were honored to receive that award last year. Herb participated in the first NAMI meeting with family members, and then they created NAMI Ohio. He served on the board of directors for well over 10 years. He was elected to the NAMI National Board. Did you hear that? NAMI National Board. And he was a great person. Terry always talks about the fire-breathing mothers of NAMI. Well, Herb was a fire-breathing father of NAMI. Terry spoke a little bit about Herb earlier, but we want to go back a couple decades, maybe 24 years ago, when NAMI Ohio was having its darkest day. It was a dark day because the till was empty. There were no more coins in the cash register. And this gentleman, who was a businessman from Cincinnati, he came up and he presented checks, 2 different checks on 2 different times, And that kept NAMI Ohio going. Very, very gracious. But I'm told that Herb's greatest efforts were in the care he gave to his son. At one of the NAMI conventions, Herb met a psychiatrist who he felt had a unique connection with his son. I think you heard somebody say earlier that he made sure that his son visited this psychiatrist and moved around the country with him. I think they were in Arizona, Nevada, and Wyoming. And Herb would also go and see his son every couple weeks because love lasts forever. Did you hear that before, Terry? Love lasts forever. And that's just amazing. Former recipients of this award were Fred and Penny Fries, two great Americans, and Fred we dearly miss. Gloria Walker, where'd she go? She's over there. Another great American. And Tom and Ann right here in front of me, a past president of NAMI Ohio, another great couple, Mike Hogan, who might still be here, and Dave and Ann Robinson, and the departed Charlie Adler. It's my honor today to introduce this year's recipient of this prestigious NAMI award. Any guesses? Well, if Herb was the grandfather of NAMI Ohio, those two over there are the parents of NAMI Ohio. Terry and Retta Russell are the heart and soul of NAMI Ohio. My words written on this paper say it's impossible to put into words their dedication, generosity, advocacy, commitment to individuals with mental health and their families. They know firsthand how mean an illness can be. And we know that love lasts forever. For these two, love lasted since junior high school. They went to Indianola Junior High School, and just like a golfing buddy 45 years, they've been married for, 52 years? Amazing, isn't it? Somebody could put up with Terry for 52 years. 56 years? Well, somebody gave me bad information. I apologize for that. They have 3 children, 9 grandchildren, and 2 great-grandchildren. That's amazing, too, especially at such a young age. I am told that their children remember at an early age when the Madison County crisis line came into their house. And there was a red phone in their house, and the kids were told, if you touch it, you're dead. They couldn't answer that phone because it was a crisis phone. Also, memories are of individuals, young children living in a Madison County group home, taking those children on a trip to Kings Island. Very nice. Very nice. I wish I was one of those kids. Another story that I'm told that I think really goes above and beyond what most families would do, most wives and mothers would do, and that was taking in an infant girl for several weeks because her mother was suffering from mental illness. Amazing. God bless you. So they took care of this little girl for a while. We all know that, well, because of the governor's State of the State speech, most Ohioans know now what we know, or at least they've had the opportunity to hear it if they watched the State of the State address live or a video, or if they read about it in the paper. The governor said that, and recognized Terry as the strongest advocate ever in Ohio for individuals with mental illness. You like that, don't you, Tom? As we all know, those outside the field, his replacement told me I had as much time as I wanted. And look at this, he's up here. He's coming up. When we call you up after Joyce's comments, then your wife has to come up. Terry's vision and passion for those with serious mental illness is unmatched. You know that. And with his energy and diplomatic skills, maybe not so diplomatic, but good skills, and relentless outreach to anyone who will listen, Terry has changed many lives. Some we don't even know, and they all are improved for the better. We talk about the quality of improving lives of those in need. Terry believes this happens one-on-one. One-on-one. If you get a phone call, you help that person, or else you get fired from NAMI Ohio. I think that was the same standard he set for himself, and he's still here, so he helped a lot of people. And the reason why you have to help those people on the crisis call line is because they're hurting. They're hurting and need to know more about how you can help them. And it's very frustrating when somebody calls in, you don't know what to do. Terry made it happen. Terry has been and will continue to be. What do you think, Retta? Is that? Well, I'm not going to talk about Terry anymore. I'm going to talk about his lovely wife. Retta has worked behind the scenes to be the hands and feet of the Operation Team Russell. She has supported Terry's administratively, but more importantly, as a moral support and encourager after meetings where he had those scars on his back. He'd come home whimpering like a little hurt dog, and she'd bring him back to life. She's also been the support person for the Ohio Adult Care Facilities, and obviously has done a good job these last 10 years. She has managed membership, provided information on training and certifications to the operators, and spent countless hours shopping and wrapping gifts for the annual Christmas party. I don't know how she stayed with him for all those years. Terry has an amazing Terry says that she puts in an amazing number of hours, even when they're on vacation. Wow, that's impressive. And let's just wrap this up by saying this couple has left a legacy. Their work over the years will not only continue through the work at NAMI Ohio, but also through the impact that their examples have left on us. They are both doers and givers to the cause of mental illness and people in need. And Terry and Retta, we love you both. Joyce, you're on. No, you can't come up yet.
As the president of NAMI Ohio, I just want to say what an honor and privilege it's been to work with you, beside you, and you are proof that not all superheroes wear capes.
She's my hero. By the way, we were in 8th grade when we started dating. She chased me around the swimming pool, and I tried to get away, and I never could. Thank you so much. This is for my grandson. Ben, where's Ben? Over there. I'm damn good. We will take a break when I'm done here for 10 minutes, and then we'll come back and we'll get the program started. I'm humbled and embarrassed for the nice things said today. By the way, we'd have been done 20 minutes ago if I was in charge. I had nothing about this. So if I was in charge, we'd have got it done. I've said before, and I'll say it again, why me? It's my job. The people who should be recognized as those citizens dealing with this mean illness and those living with it and their family members. That's who should be recognized today, not me. This is a tough world we're living in right now, and so often I hear people say they're unhappy with their jobs, they're unhappy with their life situation, their relationships, and I have been blessed. Retta here has been on my side. We celebrate July 1st, our 56th wedding anniversary. She has been with me on my journey since day one. It just wouldn't have happened without her. I love you. I certainly wanted to thank the governor, the directors of the Department of Health. I never saw that tape either. It was too long. I also wanted to thank Eve Stratton, my God, Bobby Hackett, Gloria is my older sister, if you didn't notice. I will always cherish our friendships. I know I've said it, thank you for everyone, but there's a few people I do in the audience I want to acknowledge. Roy McGinnis, I don't know if he's still here. I knew he came for Roy McGinnis right here. Past board member of NAMI Ohio. Roy, you saved NAMI Ohio. You saved NAMI Ohio. God bless you. Sherry Walters and Liz back there in the back somewhere. They're the board associate. I just want to say to Sherry especially and Liz, not as much, but thank you for being my friends. Roma Berrickman from the Ohio Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services. I want to apologize. I really yelled at her more than any human being in the Department of Mental Health over my career for all the housing. Roma, I'm sorry. I've worked with the board of directors throughout my adult life, and so many times they've become my dearest friends, helping me along my journey. The current board members may be the most dedicated of any that I've ever had. If I could bottle their emotion, their commitment, their tenacity, and give it out to everybody working in the mental health system, we'd solve some of these problems. Many of my former and current staff members are here. I looked over here and I saw Suzanne Robinson earlier, and I saw Karen Lindberg, two of my first employees, all my current staff. Luke, who will replace me, has all the skills needed and, more importantly, the same commitment that I've had, because he had to sit at our kitchen table and talk about mental illness growing up. Finally, my right hand. I'm going to get emotional on this one. And the person who really runs this place, Stacy Smith. Where's Stacy? Stacy's been with me for over 30 years, believe it or not, and she took the job at NAMI Ohio not knowing if we could pay her salary. And again, it wouldn't happen. Finally, I was not involved with this whole thing, creating the housing initiative, but I am so excited that the opportunity to work outside the system. I am retiring, make that no mistake, but to work, tinker, as I maybe use the word, but go out there and get more money from the private sector and the PEGS Foundation to initiate this housing. Think about this, people. When you're given today, or when I'm out there talking to ADMH boards or out there talking to the power companies or whoever I'm talking to try to get money. If we put a pillow under someone's head that's on the street today, if we put a roof on this, give a roof over a person's head that is in a homeless shelter, or with a family that can't do it anymore, that says, I just can't do this anymore, and we have a place to go. Think of that one at a time. And I'm so excited about that. Thank everybody, and I do apologize for it's you, it's not me. And if why don't we do this again? I won't be there, I'll be in the casket. You can put the tapes on and you can say all the nice things, and then it really mean thank you, thank you, thank you.
We're going to ask Retta if she'd like to say a few words.
I really didn't have anything planned, but you guys have been more than wonderful and supportive to Terry and our family over the years, and what little bit of work I've done with the group. I love all of them. I love the home operators and the sacrifices they've made, and, you know, I've gotten to know Mark and what all he's done for his folks, and it's just overwhelming, the support, and just thank you so much. And yeah, he'll probably still be around doing something, but thank you very much.